Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, so if you've ever had a truly brilliant idea for an app, but you just stopped dead in your tracks because, well, you don't know how to code, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're breaking down a complete step-by-step guide specifically for the no-code founder. I'm going to show you exactly how anyone, and yes, I literally mean anyone, can turn a blank idea into a real published app using AI. You absolutely don't need a computer science degree, and you certainly aren't going to be writing code line by line. You just need the right process.
Let's kick things off by looking at just how drastically this whole landscape has shifted. I mean, think about it. Just a couple of years ago, the quote-unquote old way of building an app meant you had to hire a developer, spend months trying to learn how to code yourself, or completely empty your wallet paying an agency. But today, that barrier is completely gone. In this new era of building, AI models write, debug, and explain real production-ready code in literal seconds. So your main skill today actually isn't typing out code, it's simply knowing what to ask for and acting as the quality checker. It's a total game changer.
So here's our roadmap for getting you to the finish line. Number 1, the builder's mindset. Number 2, the AI app toolkit. 3, the art of prompting. 4, testing and fixing bugs. And finally, number 5, publishing and making income.
Section 1, the builder's mindset. You are a builder, not a coder. Here's the thing. The absolute biggest obstacle you're going to face on this journey isn't technical at all. It's totally mental. You have to undergo this psychological paradigm shift and literally stop thinking of yourself as a programmer. Instead, you are the product thinker. Your primary job is just to decide exactly what the app should do. The AI, it takes on the role of the engineer. It does all the heavy lifting of actually writing the code. Then you step back in as the quality checker to test and refine it. And you know what's cool? This dynamic is exactly how modern, high-end software teams operate today anyway. A product manager describes what's needed, and the engineers build it. AI just magically puts both of those roles right in the palms of your hands.
But let's have a quick reality check here. Not every single idea out there deserves to be built. As a product thinker, you really need to ruthlessly filter your ideas. A fantastic first app idea solves a real, highly specific problem. You should absolutely be able to pitch it to a stranger in just one sentence. Also, the core version of it shouldn't require massive, expensive servers or a huge team to actually function. And finally, there should already be an active audience out there on the internet searching for a solution. Things like super narrow document tracking checklists, or maybe highly specific study and exam prep tools. Those are incredible starter niches.
I absolutely love this quote from our source material because it hits the nail right on the head. Start with a problem you've personally struggled with. You'll instinctively know what features matter and what's just noise. Personal experience is hands down your ultimate filter. When you yourself are the target user, you know exactly what is essential to make it work and what is just fluff that's going to slow down your build.
Section 2, the AI app toolkit. What you actually need.
All right, forget about expensive, bloated software subscriptions. We're keeping it lean. Here is your minimal, highly effective toolkit. First up, you need Claude AI. That's going to act as your engineer and write all the production code. Next, you'll use React to actually build out your app's visual interface. Then, a tool called Capacitor.js will basically work magic and wrap that web app into a native Android app. You're going to paste all your code into VS Code, which is a fantastic, completely free code editor. And lastly, the whole shebang gets rounded out with a Google Play developer account so you can publish your app to the world. And honestly, that's just a simple one-time fee.
Now, why does this specific stack work so perfectly for beginners? Well, React and Capacitor.js allow you to build one single app that works seamlessly right in a web browser and as an installable Android app on a phone. It's a 2-for-1 deal. You don't have to spend years learning incredibly complex, dedicated mobile languages like Kotlin or Swift. Plus, AI tools already understand these popular frameworks so deeply, they can generate highly reliable code for them almost instantly.
Section 3, the art of prompting. Talking to AI like a developer.
Okay, since you aren't literally writing the code yourself, the single most crucial hard skill you need to develop right now is clear communication. Look at the difference here. A weak prompt is super vague. It's like asking, build me an app for tracking documents. If you type that, the AI is going to give you a messy, generic guess. It doesn't know what you want. But a strong prompt? It describes exact interactions. It specifies that it needs a React component, explains the exact user flow, like adding names and marking them collected. It asks for a progress percentage, and it even dictates a clean card-based layout. That right there, that is how you get production-ready results on the first try.
To make this completely foolproof for you, here is a super simple 4-step prompting framework you can use every single time you talk to the AI. Step 1, state the goal of the feature in a single sentence. Step 2, describe exactly what the user should see and be able to do. Step 3, mention any specific styles, layouts, or behaviors you want. And step 4, honestly, this is a massive pro tip. Ask the AI to explain what it just built in plain language so you actually understand it. And remember, this is absolutely crucial. Only ever ask the AI to build one feature at a time. If you try to build the whole app in one giant prompt, it is a recipe for absolute chaos. Section 4, testing and fixing bugs, from prototype to real app. Getting your shiny new prototype working in your computer's browser is an amazing milestone, for sure, but it's not a mobile app just yet. Here is the chronological path to get you there. First, ensure it runs perfectly in the web browser. Second, you install that tool we mentioned earlier, Capacitor.js, right into your project. Third, you run a really simple build command that automatically generates the native Android project for you. And finally, you test it on a phone emulator or a real physical device. That last step is so incredibly vital because think about it. Buttons that look great on a big 15-inch computer screen might feel super cramped and tiny on a 6-inch mobile phone display. Now listen, when you're testing, you are going to encounter bugs. I can promise you that right now. But whatever you do, don't view them as failures. View them as a completely normal, healthy part of the iteration process. The goal isn't a perfect app on day one. It's a working app that just gets a little better every day. Your testing routine really just involves acting like a brand new user, writing down every single point of friction or confusion, and then clearly describing that bug to your AI engineer so it can just generate the fix for you. It's that simple. We really want you to succeed, so it's super important you actively avoid the common traps that derail most beginners. First, do not try to build every single feature you can dream up before launching. Launch small. Second, don't be the only person who tests the app. Get it in front of fresh eyes. Third, please don't ignore the boring administrative stuff like privacy policies until the very end. Fourth, avoid those super broad, crowded app ideas. Go niche. And finally, no matter what happens, do not throw your hands up and quit after hitting your very first bug. You've got this. Section 5, publishing and making income, launching to the world. All right, getting your app actually listed into the Google Play Store requires crossing your T's and dotting your I's. Here is your submission checklist. Obviously, you need that developer account set up. You absolutely must have a simple privacy policy. Seriously, this is required even for the most basic apps in the world, and missing it is literally the #1 reason first-time submissions get delayed. You'll also need some clean screenshots and a really punchy, benefit-focused description. Then you'll upload the signed release version of your app to the developer console and honestly fill out the content rating and data safety forms. So the golden question, how do we actually make money from this? Well, contrary to popular belief, an app absolutely does not need millions of downloads to generate a great income. It really just needs the right monetization model paired with a very specific hungry audience. You could use a freemium model, where the core app is completely free, but the advanced power user features cost money. You could do a simple one-time purchase, which honestly is fantastic for utility apps. You could use a subscription model if the app provides ongoing daily value that people can't live without. Or you could just run ads if it's a highly used casual app. The real trick here is to share your app directly in the niche communities that are actively experiencing the exact problem you just solved. To wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a highly actionable challenge. Ready? Here is what your next 30 days should look like. Week 1, pick your idea and nail down that one-sentence description. Week 2, build out those core features with your AI engineer, remembering to do it just one prompt at a time. Week 3, convert it to a real mobile app and test it thoroughly. And week 4, publish it. Share it with the community and start collecting your first bits of real, live user feedback. The path is literally laid out right in front of you. You've got the mindset, you know the toolkit, you have the exact prompting framework, and you've got the publishing checklist. The gap between people who build life-changing apps and people who don't, it's no longer about technical skill or knowing how to code. It's simply about taking that first step and starting. So I have to ask you, will you start building today? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Now go turn that idea into reality.